Drogan Level 3 upgrade. Hey guys, today we are back with another upgrade for Drogan. We don't have him on here as often because, well, we don't have many upgrades for him. So what we got today is the Traxxas steel camber links for the front and rear. Now these are, like I said, steel, so they will rust, but they're a lot stronger than aluminum, and they are definitely a lot stronger than the plastic camber links that are currently in there. So, without getting too much into it, let's get these open and installed. Alright, to open these packages, all we gotta do is take one, pop the tab just like so, and then what we can do is we can take some scissors, cut the thing open. There we go. Got started at least. I need better scissors for this stuff. Come on, there we go. You can pull out the instruction booklet. Don't really need that. And then we also got our links and some of these little screws that go in there. And these, I believe, are for the front. So now what we can do is we can put those to the side, do the same with this one, and then we can start putting them on the RC. First, to start things off, what we're going to need to do is remove all 4 wheels, and each wheel is held on with a 7mm wheel nut. Alright, now I have all 4 tires removed. When you remove the tires, be very careful. There is a axle pin that goes through the spindles and drive shafts. Just remember to put them to the side and don't lose them. Make sure you do not lose those things. You really do need them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the front of the RC. So what I'm going to need to do is remove the 2 screws that are on top and the 3 that are on bottom. With all 5 screws removed, the front suspension comes right on off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove these camber links by unscrewing the 2 screws that hold each of them in place. Alright, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my stainless steel screws and I'm going to screw in through this hole just like this, so that when I put the link on I can use a nut to hold it in place. Next what we're going to do is we're going to take our new camber links, slide one end like that right so, position the other one right over the hole just like that in the shock tower, and then put the screw in that goes up here and the nut down here. Alright, with the new front links in place, next up what we're going to do is we're going to take the 5 screws and screw them back in so that the front is now attached to the chassis. We got 2 on top and 3 on bottom. Alright, so we're done with the front. Now we have to move on to the rear. So now this is going to be a little bit more tricky, mainly because I have to pry the wing mount off, and that's easily done by grabbing some pliers and pulling the little metal pins out of the shock tower. Alright, next what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 2 shoulder screws that hold the top of the shocks in place, as well as the 4 screws that hold the shock in place, 2 there and 2 there. To make things easier, you can unplug the motor and feed the wires back through the shock tower just to make things easier. Alright, with the 4 screws removed, the shock tower will come right on up. Now what we're going to do is the same as the front, where we're going to remove the 2 screws that hold the camber link in place. Then I'm going to screw in a screw so that I can screw a nut in, then put it back in place with another 2 screws, and then we're done. 4 screws removed, the shock tower comes around and up. So now what we get to do is we get to remove the 2 screws that hold the camber link in place. Next what we're going to do, we're going to take one of my stainless steel screws and again screw it into there just like that. So then when I put the camber link on, I'll be able to put a nut on it to hold it in place. Next what we're going to do is we're going to take our shock tower and one of the camber links that we have, we're going to put it right over there and screw in the 1 screw that holds it in place, And it's the same right over here. With the two camber links on the shock tower, what we're going to do is we're going to spin it around like so, and then slide the ends of the links onto the screws that are attached to the axle carriers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a nut and screw it onto the ends of both of the screws to hold the camber links in place. With the links attached, now what we can do is we can take the shock tower, slide it into position, and screw down the 4 screws that hold it in place. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the shocks, position them onto the shock tower like so, and screw in the one shoulder screw that holds them in place. Alright, next what we're going to do is pretty simple. We got to take the rear wing mount wire thing and we just got to insert them into the shock tower holes, just like that, and push down. Alright, as you guys can see, I got the wing in place. Now, the very last thing to do is we're going to be installing the tires back on. It's as easy as taking this little axle pin, sliding it on to the axle just like so, and then taking one of the tires and just sliding it on just like that and putting the 1 7mm nut that holds them all in place. Here is before. And here is after, guys, and check them out. I gotta say, they look pretty darn good. Not to mention, these are a bucket load. A lot stronger than the stock plastic ones that was on there before. So now I can adjust the camber and the toe on both the front and rear, which is gonna make it a lot easier to do a lot of different things. But other than that, I am just happy because these are a freaking, I won't have to worry about any of these breaking. If you notice, I had, one of them had broken a while ago, and I had this in there just as a fix because I didn't have the money to go out and get the normal plastic ones. So now with the metal ones in there, it's gonna no longer have to worry about that. And I did think of a way where I can have these colored like the aluminum, but of course it's gonna come at a price. But still, I think it's gonna look cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna go for it yet or not. I still haven't decided on that. It's just a little idea I just had while I was working on this. So I hope you guys like this upgrade. I have to do this one more time, but with the Rustler. So I'll see y'all next time. And that was Drogan's Level 3 upgrade.